Right. So good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the July 25th, 2025 Public Safety and General Government Committee meeting of the Common Council. Just for the record, tonight we have Common Council person Heather Dunn, Doug Sutton, James Frayer, and Miss Nicole Eady here. And their attendance, we also have Michelle DeLuca and Chief Gatto that just joined. So we could get started. I have that, and have anybody for public participation?
We do not.
Okay, so you can move on to the acceptance of the minutes for May 23rd. Have a motion? So moved by Mr. Frayer. Do we need a second in these meetings? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
No, we do not.
Okay, so any discussion or changes on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? And that passes. So 4 in favor, 1 abstained. And then today, have just a new business with the fire department. I'm gonna move item 1 and 2 together. The first one, I'll read them out. To authorize the mayor, W. Harry Rilling, to execute a contract with Overhead Doors of Hartford, Inc. for replacing 5 overhead doors in the apparatus bay of the apparatus maintenance building, Station 6, located at 100 Fairfield Avenue, for a total not to exceed $130,212.36. This purchase is through State of Connecticut, contract number noted and account number noted. Item 2, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute a contract with Overhead Doors of Hartford, Inc. for the replacement of 6 overhead doors in the apparatus bay of Station 1, located at 90 New Canaan Avenue, for a total not to exceed $123,483.51. This purchase is through State of Connecticut, contract number noted and account number noted. We have a motion? So moved. I'll take Mr. Sutton. And then I'll turn it over to Chief Gatto if you're going to speak on this.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening, and congratulations, Jalen, for your appointment.
Thank you.
So we are looking to replace the apparatus overhead doors in the 5 stations, plus the apparatus maintenance garage. We put in
Froze a little bit, Chief Gatto.
overhead door.
Hey, Chief Gatto, you're freezing up.
They're a very good company. We have used them before, actually.
Hey, Chief, maybe you should turn off your video because you're losing your audio.
Okay. How's that? Better?
I can hear you now.
All right, I'm gonna start all over. Anyway, we put in through the capital budget this year, we put in to replace the overhead doors on the 5 firehouses and 1 apparatus or apparatus maintenance garage. So we want to start the process now while the weather's still nice. So we're hiring this company, Overhead Door of Hartford, as a single source with a state contract. It's been approved by the purchasing agent, and we're looking to start at 100 Fairfield Avenue, and then also do Station 1, which is Broad River and New Canaan Avenue, for those 2 sums. So basically, most of the doors are original to the buildings. The buildings are the mid, actually some are in the 60s, some were replaced in the 80s. A lot of the doors do go back to the 80s and 90s. So that's what we want to do. Questions?
No one has any questions for Chief Gatto? We're not hearing any questions. Or everybody in favor? And that passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we just have one left, which is to authorize the mayor, W. Harry Rilling, to execute a contract with Majority Construction for a total not to exceed $334,274 dollars for the removal and reinstallation of the apparatus floor at Station 3, located at 56 Van Zandt Street. This project is funded through a grant by the 3rd Taxing District, account number noted. I take a motion to move that. Ms. Dunn. And now I'll pass it over to Chief Gatto to.
Okay, thank you. So, this station is owned by the 3rd Taxing District. It's in the 1800s, the building. The apparatus floor, which is, it's not on ground level. There's a basement under the apparatus floor. So every time the truck backs into the garage, it's sitting basically like on the 2nd floor, and the 1st floor is a basement underneath. We're looking to upgrade our apparatus, and we've had engineers out to the building. The apparatus floor needs to be replaced because the weight of the new engines and also the height restrictions, that they would not even fit into the station if we even tried. So, talking with 3rd Taxing District, they agreed to fund the project. They agreed to pay for the project. We are managing the project. So what we're asking tonight is for the Common Council to approve the contract with Majority Construction. He was not the low bidder, he was the middle bidder. The low bidder got thrown out because it was an incomplete bid. And therefore, purchasing agreed to award it to Majority Construction. And another reason we like to get this passed is because it's a big deal to remove that floor, and you have to pour concrete, etc. And I want to do that while we still have good weather for that as well. So, questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Chief, isn't this something that came up a couple of years ago? Am I mixing this up with another similar incident?
I don't know. Well, actually, you know what? You're right. What was done was they reinforced the floor by adding some more columns, like you see in your garage, like those lolly columns.
Yeah.
Well, the structural engineer came out and said those are absolutely insufficient. We can't find any engineering documents why they're even put over there. And the only real way, the correct way to do it is to completely dismantle the whole floor, which is concrete poured over wood, and then put beams and however engineers do it now with a full concrete floor. The floor will be now level with the apron that's outside. So when the truck backs in, there is no going up a hill. It's all going to be one level floor. So
how much do we pay? How much did we pay for it the first time we fixed it? That could only have been like less than 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. You're right. I think it was after I got promoted, so probably 6 or 7 years ago, because it was creaking every time the engine would back in. People would say this whole thing is like creaking.
Yeah, they said it sagged a little bit.
Yeah, so it was really putting a Band-Aid over. It's like a temporary fix. I don't remember exactly what the price tag is. I mean, I can look it up for you, but off the top of my head, I really don't remember.
Do we know whether the 3rd Taxing District funded it then?
I don't know. I really don't know. I know
do we know whether the purchasing department knew about this and checked it out? I mean, maybe there was some, could there have been some warranty on the original work? I mean, if it's less than 5 years old, or maybe 5 years
Well,
old, whatever it is.
yeah. I just want to, I think the whole scope of the project is now completely, whatever they did, they're going to dismantle. So even if there was, there's a different company. I do know that it's a different company. So I don't think we have any recourse to go back and say, well, you guys, I mean, did it wrong. Obviously, it was approved. I'm not exactly who approved it, but
But you know, it sounds like, I think the problem here is that you come to us now and say, this is really going to fix it. And so all of us engineers here that know all about how to support, flimsy firehouse floors say, yeah, we have to, otherwise the fire engine's going to fall right through. But that's the same story I heard the last time.
yeah.
And it was before I was on the council. I think I was on the BET at the time. And it was part of the, it was probably part of the budget process we went through. Or
Right.
we had to approve it as an exception. So and then I guess the other thing you had mentioned was that you are, not you personally, but you are managing it. Do you mean the fire department's managing it, the construction, or is that the city that's managing it?
Well, the city, but we're working with the contractor. We had to go out to bid and all the specs. We're working with the engineer, develop the engineering specs. But I think,
Is that somebody from Alan Lowe's area?
yeah, Chief Conti is the one who's behind this project, but unfortunately he's on vacation right now. He could have been on the call, but I told him, don't worry about it, that I could talk about it. Yeah, Alan Lowe has been involved with this as well. But I don't know the name of the architect. The engineering firm. Again, I could get all that and send it to you if you want me to next week.
Well, I'm just concerned that, if we went through this whole thing 5 years ago, and I forget how much it was, but it was enough that we had to come to the BET. And now all of a sudden, what is it, 5, 6 years later, we're rebuilding it. And
Well,
I'm hearing
other
it's the same, and don't take this, I'm not criticizing anybody, but it just seems like it's the same explanation that we got 5 years ago. What's to say in 5 years this thing's going to collapse?
Well, I guess you have to take the words of the engineer, but one of the reasons to do it now is when the new apparatus gets delivered, it would not fit in that station because of the height. And the way to fix that is to lower the floor. And the way they lower the floor is they take out the old one. There's a hump. They grind all that down. And now you're backing into a straight garage with no incline. And the height is different to allow for the height of the new engine. 5 years ago, that same engine that's in there today was there 5 years ago. So.
Was it a new engine then, do you know?
Well, it was newer. It was newer back then, but it's not, it's one of the ones to be replaced. So that's the other
I guess
reason.
I'm sorry, I'm just really skeptical about this thing because it's like deja vu all over again. I mean, to be a pessimist about this, I realize that, we've got a fire engine coming that is not going to fit in the firehouse, or the floor is going to collapse. But that's exactly the same excuse I heard the last time, 5 years ago. And so why should, you can fool me once, but don't fool me twice,
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
no, I
I'd like to
understand
have, I honestly would
concern.
like to see, I'd like to have somebody from buildings and maintenance, like Alan Lowe's department, tell me this is what it's all about. How soon do we have to move on this?
I I think maybe what we could do is if we don't vote on it tonight, we get the information that we need, and then we still just bring it to our August 13th meeting. And then we take it that way as long as we have everything we need through like emails, and that way we
Yeah.
don't have to hold it up. But we could, because like you said, with the concrete and everything, we don't want to hold it up too long, and our second August meeting is probably going to get canceled. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that gives us about 2 weeks.
give us about 2 weeks, yeah.
I can send you all of the engineering documents that Mark has, you know.
No, I don't, honestly, Chief, to give me engineering documents, this is probably I'm the wrong guy. But
Oh, yeah, me
um,
too. Oh,
But if Alan Lowe or somebody in his department came to me and said, "Look, Jim, you're not an engineer, but let me explain it to you very slowly and carefully. Maybe you'll understand it." And I'll probably understand it. And I'll probably ask him the same question that I'm asking now: is that how come we let this go by the first time? It was a stupid as you say, that just put lolly columns in there and some timber and then pour cement on it. I'm not an engineer, and that doesn't sound like it's a real good idea. But
yeah.
how did we get it past the last time? Engineering concepts can't have changed that much in this period of time.
Well, I think
I
the
think we
first
should
time,
wait and see if we can get more information on this just to make us happy. And I can, honestly, I think that, we look at capital budgets pretty carefully, and this is in the capital budget already, isn't it?
no, we're not funding it. The third taxing district is funding it.
Yeah,
So
but
the city doesn't pay anything.
it's not in the capital budget at all.
No, no. We had a meeting, or Jim had a meeting Mark had a meeting with the commissioners of the third taxing district a few months ago. They agreed that it's their building. As the landlord, they will pay for it. But they didn't want to go through the whole process of picking the contractor, picking the engineer first and then the contractor.
Or did they pick the engineer last time?
I don't know how it was done last time. I just remember it was more like, well, let's say there's 4 columns down the basement right now. Let's put in 4 more and we'll reinforce the floor. It was one of those. And
Yeah.
I guess we were talked into it, and I don't think it was a lot. And it worked. It's been working.
Well, it hasn't failed yet.
No, not yet. So again, in the big picture, we need to change this floor because of what's coming down the road.
Yeah.
And now that they're willing to pay for it, just going through the committees and everything to let everybody know.
I'm sure there's nothing wrong with it, but I think that I personally would feel more comfortable if we got some more information, and maybe we could bring it before the council. It doesn't seem like it's I would think if we brought it to the council, it would be a slam dunk with the backup of or the imprimatur from somebody from building management that would give it to us, and maybe give us a brief explanation of how we spent money on it the last time. Or maybe we had the third taxing district pay for it the last time too. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that way we're not really holding it up. It still go
Yeah.
to the full council and on the August 13th meeting. And anybody else have any feedback? Ms. Dunn, Mrs. Sutton, Ms. Edie?
So we're going to vote to approve this to move it on to the council, yes?
No, we'll table it, and then we'll just bring it straight to the council like we did with the items last night or Tuesday. And then we'll discuss it and we'll get the information in the meantime.
So it probably wouldn't be on consent.
Yeah. Unless we get through email, everybody's comfortable, and then we could just move it straight. So it just depends on the information we get in the meantime.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, Jalen, I don't mean to be a pain.
No, I
about
think
this.
that I mean, even though it's like it's not the city's money directly, the ratepayers of the third taxing district still
Yeah.
taxpayers of Norwalk. So
Yeah.
want to make sure you do the right thing. Plus, want to make sure we're not just gonna have this issue in 5 years. But to Chief Gatto's point, this seems like important. Even if it was sturdy and can handle the weight, we still have to drop the floors to fit the new engine. So it's something that I don't foresee being an issue, but I think that it is wise to do our due diligence
Yeah.
and get the information.
Great.
Okay,
Thanks.
And I think just for reference, the common council meetings in August would be August 6th and the 20th. And I believe the August 20th meeting was the one that was going to be canceled.
I think it's the 13th just because the way the 6th is the first Tuesday. So I think that because it falls on the 2nd, so I believe it'd be on the 13th.
Yeah.
For the common council meeting?
Yes.
13th and 27th.
And the 27th, I
Okay.
believe is canceled, yeah.
My calendar.
So yeah, it's really, about 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks that we'll have.
all right,
Thank you.
we'll get all the information for you.
All right, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Chief.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have to make a motion to table this or we just don't vote? I'm not sure. New to
No,
me.
we need a motion to table.
Okay, I'll take a motion to table.
So moved.
All right, all in favor? Then we'll get you guys that information. Thank you, Chief, for that. And then it's just the last motion. Motion to adjourn, to have Ms. Edie. All in favor? All right, guys, you guys have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
I'm sorry, Jalen, it would have been a lot faster had I not.
I appreciate it, Jim. You know,
No problem.